Good evening. This is KAJUKENBO Live coming out of South Lake Tahoe, California. I'm Senior Grandmaster Jimenez from the Worldwide KAJUKENBO Federation. This is going to be volume 3 of the set of videos I'll be doing for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The captions, some of the people that I grew up with, some top martial artists and good friends and stuff like that. And a lot of you out there know who they are and stuff. And so I thought I'd give you my little input on how I met them, my journey through all the years in martial arts I've been. Today, the subject's going to be Great Grandmaster NOVAK. Now, if any of you out there are in the martial arts for many years, back in the 60s, 70s, we started and stuff all the way up. He was an icon, a permanent fixture in all the tournaments. If you didn't know him, then you haven't been around. He was larger than life. He was a really big guy. If you shook his hand, anybody that shook his hand knows what it is, like a vice grip. When you shake your hand, you almost go flying over his shoulders. That's how strong he was. And he always worked the center judge on all the katas and forms. How I met him the very first time, I was only a young boy. And I used to just fight in tournaments. We didn't do forms and stuff like that, weapons. Like later on I did. And when the fighting came too easy and stuff, and I noticed a lot of people might disagree, but the forms is actually harder because you can't make a mistake. You don't have a second chance. You don't get so many points. You get one chance and that's it. Anyway, so I decided to do forms. Remember, I'm a little kid. I was a white belt. And, pretty much crapping my pants, getting out there because I was scared. Because I'm looking up and here's this big, huge, large gentleman right in the center judge. And Senior Grandmaster Vargas used to always tell us about Grandmaster NOVAK. Anyway, so I got up there, my legs shaking 100 miles an hour. And then he just glared, and like I said, I was only a beginner. I think I did kata 1, kata 2. And I think I took like 3rd place. In fact, I know I took 3rd place. It's a little trophy about that big, but it had a metal kick guy, and usually don't do that. Anyway, that kind of got me hooked on forms. And so as I'm going up in the rank, he was always the center judge. Always the center judge. And this is for all the tournaments. If you had a big tournament, he was the center judge on the main stage at nighttime. When he was a little bit younger, he used to have a martial art supply booth that he used to sell his martial art supplies. And I bought all my weapons from him. I bought my first one sword from him. Then I bought a second sword to make it match. And then I bought me a whip chain from him. The real whip chain, not the little barbed wire one that you guys use. Anyway, he sold me all those and stuff, and we came pretty close. He'd come out years later to my cigar shops that I have, and I'd take him to lunch and stuff, and he liked his lunches. I'll tell you one thing. And he was fun to get the tournaments, and I get the, hey Tony, come here, can you go over there and get me a couple hot dogs and a coffee and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, okay, like I was the butler, right? But out of respect, we always did that for him. I remember Grandmaster Willis and myself, we were young, and we had gone to Lake Tahoe for a tournament. And he was, of course, center judge, and he was so funny. Grandmaster Willis, was chewing gum while he was doing his form, so we can't do that. So all I remember is NOVAK stopping a thing, and he goes, come here. He knew Jimmy too, and he's, Jimmy, are you chewing gum? And of course, Jimmy, when he gets nervous, he would stutter, and he sounded like a a helicopter taking off. Whoa, 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 yeah, go spit it out right now. And he gave him a second chance to come back and he'd do his form and stuff like that. But he was pretty sharp, as the years went by. Even towards the end, he was in a wheelchair, and he was there every tournament. They'd bring him and stuff like that, and he was just a well-known martial artist. When I say that, I'm talking about like certain people in the tournaments. Every weekend, we see the same people every weekend. You see them usually sometimes more than you do your own family. And I remember coming to all the tournaments and him being there and stuff like that. And, like I said, grew up with him and stuff like that. And then, like I said, towards the end, I remember last time I saw him, I just got promoted to Grandmaster, and some of the top ranking Grandmasters was signing my certificates, and he couldn't wait. Oh, no, give me. I just said, this is an honor. I want to sign your certificate. And, I got it, and he signed it and stuff. But like I said earlier, there are certain people in martial arts tournaments that they're there. They're like an icon. Like I said, every weekend we were there, more than we probably seen most of our families. And he was there. And then when I say icon, he was an icon. Everybody knew who Great Grandmaster Al Novak was. You didn't go to a tournament without seeing him. In fact, for a while there, he was even the doctor at some of the tournaments, the medic. He'd come in, he has a little box and stuff, and you pull your thumb out, you pull your finger back in, things like that. And like I said, with the martial arts, when they lose somebody like that, it's a big loss. Because like I said earlier, it's somebody that you've seen most of your life. If you compete a lot, which we did, and at all the tournaments, he was there. So, a good, 40 years, maybe a little less, a little more. I can't remember the exact amount, but when I was a little kid, he was there until the day he passed away. And I remember we were at a tournament one time, and he says, Tony, come here. He goes, now I want you to promise me something. And I said, sure, what is it? And he goes, when I die, he goes, I want you to take a sword and put it in my casket. So I said, well, why do you want to do that? And he said, oh, because I never know what's on the other side, and I want to be prepared. So make sure you put a sword inside in that casket. And the kind of sad part in a way is that when he passed, he really didn't want anybody at his funeral. I don't know why. But I got a hold of one person that was going to go, and I told him the story, and I said, do me a favor, you need to put a sword in his casket. So, of course, he asked the daughter, and the daughter said, oh, of course, 100%. So he put a sword in the casket with him and stuff like that. And Mark Geary had a party for him at his house with all, a lot of top black belts were there. And then another black belt had one in a candlelight vision for him in, I think, Newark, Fremont. And a lot of people showed up. I think 300-400 people showed up to, wish him, well off, and because that's how much the guy was loved. I know a lot of black belts went over and took care of him. I think Tammy Whelan even went over there and fed him and stuff, took care of him. Because again, he was loved by everybody. And so, I just, like I said, I just want to get a shout out to him. You'll see the picture on this cover, at one of the tournaments, and that's pretty much how he looked until the very, very end. And like I said, he probably would have made it, but somebody hit him. He was crossing the sidewalk, and somebody hit him in the car, and that kind of started a downfall. So maybe you never know how long more he would have lasted if that didn't happen. But he even started making all the tournament trophies. All the tournaments. He started making them. So he was, he was a business guy too. Let me tell you, he didn't play around. You know, I'd hear the same old story all the time. Ah, Tony, you got a lot of money. You give me an extra $50. Give me an extra $25. You know, I'd just laugh and give him the money. You know, but that's how he was. You know, so you know, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Senior Grandmaster Jimenez from KAJUKENBO Live from the Worldwide KAJUKENBO Federation. My next video will be about Alan Reyes, really good friend of mine. Until then, I'll talk to you later.